since I flew back home, my mind's been kind of a blur. It's like there's a fog that clouds every single thought, and when I try to focus, my thoughts just kind of slip away. Seconds stretch into hours, collapse into minutes, and blur into days. And the worst part of it all, my brain refuses to slow down. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I'm still not sure, but without my tools, my 3D printer, I needed a new outlet. Eventually, I landed on a golden opportunity, which I'll save for an upcoming video. A big part of this project involves electronics, and with time and sleep both out of the window, I dove right in. YouTube video after YouTube video, forum after forum, I was taking notes on terms I'd never heard of before. PCB, OEM, capacitors, resistors, solder. Wait, solder. That sounds so familiar.
And that's when it really hit me. That's my dad's company. Honestly, growing up when I was younger, I didn't really take the time or effort to understand what he really did. He mentioned solder here and there. I knew it had to do with metals, but I never really understood what it was and what he really did. Now that I realize, he's basically locally industry titan in this field. It took a lot of convincing since he's retired now, but I hope with a little bit of begging and enough bribery that he'll show me the ropes and show me some things that he still has or that he knows, because, well, he'll know more than I'll ever know. He agreed to teach me just a few things, and to be honest, we can't really visit the old factory anymore. It's long gone, but I'm hoping there's still a few tools lying around that I could use, or some things that he could show me. Honestly, I'm just pretty excited for everything to happen, so I can't wait to see what happens, I guess. So I'll see you there.
Honestly, from this point on, I didn't really know what to expect. I walked into it with no expectation, just open to learn. So going into the office, I've been there multiple times, but I just didn't know where he kept the tools because I never bothered to ask. He found like an old soldering iron that isn't what I researched at all. We were just looking around trying to find solder, and he found one roll left. My mom told me that he left as a memento for the company. If there's just one roll, I 100% do not want to use it because I feel so bad. We looked around and tried to see if there was tools, if there was like breadboard stuff that I could use. There was literally nothing left, which is so unfortunate. I was really looking forward to learning with him, like how to solder, especially since he's such an expert at it, right? We just didn't have anything to play with, and he tried looking, I tried looking, there just wasn't much of anything that we could use.
Hey guys, Editing Jack here. I'm editing the video as we speak right now, and I realized one thing. If I end the video right now here, then literally nothing here was learned or taught in a way that I talk about. The point of these videos, hopefully for me, is to show what I learned and also for you guys to hopefully learn something and follow along the journey. When I was writing the video script, it was so unexpected that there was nothing in the office, so I still wanted to at least leave some things that I learned. So the first tip I would use is make sure to use lead-free solder. Leaded solder exists. It's not good for your health if you're just breathing it in and you're indoors and all that. And the trade-off is lead-free solder has a higher melting point, which is a little more difficult to work with. But these days, with technology being better than what they were before, it takes a little more time to heat up, it takes a little more time to work with. That's it. So make sure, for yourself, health and safety, you're using lead-free solder. The second tip I would give is mistakes are okay. I watched a video that was basically an old man, and I'm guessing his relative, his son, work on soldering and learning how to solder. That was something I want to do with my dad essentially, but unfortunately that can happen. But essentially, if you make mistakes, it's okay. There's something called solder wicks. It's basically just a copper braid that wicks away solder if you put too much of it on with some heat. So that's totally fine if you make a mistake and then you need to redo it. The third tip that my dad gave me was always use solder and not soldering paste. This, in my opinion, was something a little more old school, but essentially his understanding is that if you use solder paste and you need to heat treat it to make it bonded, you'll have a little specks of things everywhere everywhere, and typically what people do at that point is brush it off, but by doing so, you might damage your components, or even worse, you might not be able to brush some parts off. So the accuracy of which you can actually place solder paste is much less than saying using solder, where you can directly press on where you want to apply solder. The fourth tip that my dad directly gave me was that this is going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort to even learn how to do something. So if I'm to go through with it, and if you're to go through with it, make sure that you're really patient with yourself. You're never going to get it right on your first try. And the last thing I want to mention, make sure you're buying good quality tools for this type of work. The reason I say this is because from looking at my dad's tools and talking to him, he mentioned that he rarely switches anything. You know, he buys these tools once. They last him years, if not decades. So these are really a tool that you're meant to buy once and not replace. And they'll stay with you until the end of your interests. My suggestion here is just buy something that's good once, and you don't have to buy multiple times if this is something that you're committing yourself to. I'm also going to be leaving the videos that I watched that helped me learn more about this work in this world below in the description, as well as some points that I've learned personally throughout researching and all that below. Feel free to go through it and read through it. I hope it helps. All right, continue on with the video.
What ended up happening was they showed me some like things that they left behind, like pamphlets, books, some awards, showing me some of the tools that he used to use. For example, testing like tensile strength, temperature, basically doing QC for his products instead of electronics and circuitry. It was just more so learning about family history and like his company, which was really cool, to be honest. Like I felt like I understood a little bit more about what he did and how pivotal his position was, the amount of work that he actually did with clients, awards, and if it was like perfect, I would have loved to like test or even go to the factory, but these things don't exist. I kind of missed my chance. I figured out too late that this was something that I was interested in, but I'm not too bummed out about it. I still learned a lot through YouTube videos and seeing how people solder, and what it's used for, how we can create a circuit, how we can create PCBs, and I'm hoping that process itself can be something that I do later on. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate it. As always, if you liked the video, please leave a like, comment, and follow or subscribe for more. It really helps the channel. If you have any techniques that you want to share before I really dive into this world, or any sort of advice, I would love it if you could leave it in the comments or just DM me. I'm always open for a conversation. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.